talking to my favorite Cruz, JT Cruz. He is the head coach of the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers. A lot of people, I think, would say that you're not facing an LCA, you're not facing a Heritage, possibly a week to take it off, and you're going to say absolutely not.
Yeah. Well, and that's the challenge, right? Like, it's a cross-county rival. Okay, so there's a level of intensity that goes with those kind of games just because all these kids know each other. They all grew up playing each other. And so, like, there's that aspect to it. But, I mean, there is a challenge in and of itself for getting up to play a team it's different when you're playing a team that's 0-5 versus when you're playing a team that's 5-0. And if you need evidence of that, watch Alabama play Vanderbilt this past Saturday. You know what I mean? Seriously, it can happen to anybody where all of a sudden you feel like you're good and you don't need to put the work in to get yourself ready to go play a game, and then you go out there and you get yourself beat. And so is it a different challenge than playing, a 5-0 team that's firing on all cylinders? Yeah, it's a different challenge, but it's still a challenge, right? And Liberty is certainly good enough to go out there and beat us if we don't play the way that we're capable of playing. I mean, you watch them on film, they're getting better every week. They have a good plan as to what they're doing offensively. They're able to attack you in different ways, and they got players too, man. And so, have they put it all together to where they can go out and fire on all cylinders like a 5-0 team yet? No, and hopefully that's not going to happen against us either.
How's the week of practice been?
It's been a good week of practice, honestly. And kind of the theme going into the bye week and something we're really trying to carry through this next half of the season, right? We got through the first half, and now we're on the back half of the season. It's similar to, what we preach the whole way through, in that it's about us and our preparation, but we're really we're chasing our ceiling at this point. I guess would be the best way to put it. Like, we feel like we haven't even begin to approach the level of play that we could be at as a football team. We're just starting to get there, right? And so we got to continue to work and push and grind every single day to try and continue to get better and better and better to reach whatever our level of potential as a team is. Like, that's where we want to hit. We want to max that out.
We're talking on Wednesday night. If somebody says to you, like, after Wednesday's practice, how's the week of practice been on a game week? Can you answer it without seeing what Thursday would entail?
Yeah, I mean, believe me, so we've had practice weeks where things have not been good, right? It's you go out there and it's not even necessarily, like, obviously it's a poor week of practice if the execution is bad, but if there's bad energy, right? If the kids are, they don't, like, to me, and something that I really try and cultivate as a coach, like, I want practice to be the highlight of their day. Like, I want them to look forward to going out to practice because it's work, and fun can never get in the way of the work that needs to be done. But, like, that doesn't mean it can't be fun, right? Like, as long as we're out there working, like, we can still have fun. We can enjoy being around each other. And I think that energy brings out the best in everybody. So if you go out there and it's just a dour mood and you're getting maybe 80% effort when you're demanding 100% effort and you're not executing the way that you need to execute, like, yeah, it could be a bad week of practice on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And like, man, we got to clean this up on Thursday. That's not how I'm feeling right now. Like, I feel good about the week of practice that we had.
And I don't want to call Thursday a throwaway day, but I mean, you've done the pads for the most part on Tuesday and Wednesday on a game week.
Yeah.
So Thursday's kind of that walkthrough.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than a walkthrough for us. We call it
a little bit more.
Right. Like, we want to get out there, we want to run around, and truthfully, what we preach is it's a practice just without pads, right? Like, we're still going to go out there, we're going to run team offense, team defense, all that stuff. You still got to be tuned in and dialed in and focused in the same way that you would for a practice. Because this is the last one before a game, right? Like, you better get all your coverage checks right. You better get all that stuff correct because we're about to play this game tomorrow.
You tackling with pads on?
I have done it before on Thursdays. We're not going to do it tomorrow.
No. I'm saying Tuesday and Wednesday you're tackling with pads on. On Thursdays you're not tackling if you've got a Friday game.
Right. Now, before this last one, Russburg, granted we played the game on a Thursday, but I didn't feel great about our Monday or Tuesday practice. So we went out there full pads on Wednesday and practiced and tackled. And so we played really well that Thursday, so maybe there's something to that. I don't know. But we're definitely not doing that tomorrow for practice.
That doesn't sound fun, by the way, at all.
Hey, it's again, that's football, right? If you don't enjoy going out there and hitting people, like, you shouldn't be playing football. But I mean, there's certain things you got to do throughout the week of practice, and if we're not getting it done when we need to, we're going to get it done, period.
What worries you about Liberty aside from the fact of, they're kind of looking to get off the skid?
Yeah, well, I mean, even more than that, like it's JF Liberty, right? Like it's a Bedford County, it's a cross county deal, and so like you better believe we are going to get their best shot. Like, and they're coming off a bye. They haven't had a ton of success up to their point in this season, so to a certain extent, they almost have nothing to lose, right? So like maybe they come out in something totally different offensively. You know, maybe they go back to the double dive days, which they ran under Chris Watt for years. You know, like you don't know what you're going to get, and so there's a little bit of I don't want to say worry, but you know, you gotta make sure we've covered as much as we possibly can because you don't know what you're going to get on Friday. And then there's the intensity that comes with a cross county rivalry where again, all these kids know each other. I have, you know, a couple coaches on my staff that previously coached at Liberty. You know, there's just a lot of I don't want to say animosity, but it's a rivalry for sure.
My words, not yours. Do you get concerned about intensity when your team has a good record and the other team might not?
Yeah, I mean it's always a concern. And so it's just one of those things where you preach over and over to your team. And again, the goal for us is not necessarily to play to our schedule, it's to play to our ceiling, right? Like it's not about the opponent, it's about us. Now again, you say all those things, at the end of the day, these are teenagers, right? And they've all got egos and hey, we're 4-1, we're feeling really good, and that team's 0-5, and we can just show up and beat them. Well, like, no, we cannot have that attitude. We got to put the work in from a mental standpoint to prep ourselves to go out and play a good quality football game.
I normally ask you for keys to the game, but I'm going to ask you something a little bit different tonight. Who has played up to this point, halfway through the season? Who would be maybe, I don't want to say a standout, but who's that guy that's been really good offensively? Who's that guy that's been really good defensively? And who's that guy that's been really good on special teams for you? So I'd prefer three different people if you can.
Yeah, so I would say the guy that has played well offensively, and truthfully, we have had a lot of guys pitch in offensively. I think that's one of the things that just the nature of what we do offensively is we're never going to have one guy who carries the ball 40 times a game, right? We spread it around in a lot of different ways. And so we've had a lot of different players step up in different moments and have good games. I would say the guy that's kind of been at the center of all that is our quarterback, Dylan Marks, right? His first year coming in as a starter, and hasn't necessarily established himself in that role going into the season. Well, 5 games through it, he has established himself in that role. He is the leader of that offense. He's gotten better and better every single week. And so I think the way that he has approached things and continuing to improve week in, week out and raise his level of play and push other guys to raise their level of play, I would say he's been the most standout offensively, just because, again, we spread the ball around so much. Defensively, I would say it is, you know, we have 2 really, really good defense, and truthfully, our defensive line in general is phenomenal. That's Wrigley Colling, Slade Cassie, Logan Candace, Tyrese Callaway, Jacob Tazowski. All 5 of those guys rotate and do a great job. I would say the guy that has stepped into his role maybe in the best way is Stax Rowland. He plays our stud, which is kind of our field outside linebacker position. And Stax he's that kid he's never the biggest kid out there. He's never the fastest kid out there. He's never the strongest kid out there, but he is just a football player, man. Like he sees it on the field. He's almost got like a sixth sense as to what's coming. He knows how to beat blocks and he doesn't miss many tackles and has done a phenomenal job for us. And so defensively, I'd actually probably say Stax. And then from a special teams standpoint, we've got a guy, Ethan Boonyar, who I think we actually talked a little bit about a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
He's been kind of like he's my scout team dog. Like Ethan Boonyar, whether it's scout team offense, scout team defense, like he's the dude that you can count on to go out there and not only give full effort, but he's going to go out there and make plays. Like his goal when he is playing scout team offense is to make the starting defense look stupid, and he does it. And so finding a role for that guy on special teams, whether it's covering kicks on kickoff or covering kicks on punt or on the kickoff return team, whatever it is, whatever we've asked him to do in that regard, he's done a really, really good job with it.
I think that's good that you got a guy that wants to make the scout one side of the scout team, or he wants to make the offense look stupid. I think that's what you said. A scout team defensive player wants to make the offense look stupid. And I gotta think those are the guys you love. You gotta think those are the guys you want.
When I'm calling the offense and we're going up against the scout team defense, like it pisses me off sometimes because like he's been going against us all year. And so he'll start to recognize things that we're doing and he's playing safety and he'll be in places where he's not supposed to be, but like he's just going out there trying to make a play. It's like it'll get me mad. But then it's the same thing offensively. I'm coordinating the scout team offense. He's doing things and like we'll run a reverse or something that has never been seen on film. And he'll bust that off and get my defensive coordinator, Coach Bedford, mad about that. But that's what you want, right? Like you want your scout teams to go out there and compete hard against the starters, which raises that level of energy in practice. And they start talking trash to each other and get out there and compete, and that makes everybody better.
Wouldn't you be more mad the other way if you just got guys that are loafing on scout?
Yeah.
They're not making them any better.
Yeah, that's right. That's 100% the truth. And you got to fight some of that too. And that's the good thing about having guys like that. Sometimes if a guy is on scout team, they almost kind of like, I don't want to say accept that they're going to get their butt kicked, but they go out there and it's like, oh man, I'm going up against the starters. Like they're just going to push me around. And like we've got a ton of guys where that is not the case. Like they're going to go out there and they're going to try and whoop whichever side of the ball it is. If we're on team offense, that scout defense is going to try and whoop us. If we're on team defense, that scout offense is going to try and whoop them. And to the credit of our starters, we have some guys that start on offense and don't start on defense. So when it's scout offense, like those guys are out there. They're not sitting back saying, nah, let me let all these other guys get the reps. I'm too good for that. Like, no, they're going to go out there and they're going to try and make plays against the defense too. And again, it brings energy and competition to practice, which raises everybody's level of play.